Afternoon, you're watching the Midday News on ABC News GH. I am Abena Mante. Coming up in this bulletin, the NDC launches the Youth Manifesto, pledges the youngest cabinet ever. To improve youth development, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia has pledged to train 1 million youth in digital skills. Also to come in this bulletin, CTAC strike enters 9th week as trainees call for closure of schools. We will bring you more on this. Still to come in the bulletin, in business, gold for oil program still on track, BOG says. And on the international front, Nigeria's economy suffers an 500 billion naira loss due to the protests. Thank you for staying with us. We are live on YouTube at ABC News GH. Stay with us. We'll be back. Grateful for your attention this afternoon. The National Democratic Congress and its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, have promised to establish the youngest cabinet in Ghana's history should they win the 2024 general elections. The party launched its youth manifesto, preferring youth-centered policies to address youth challenges. The flag bearer, Mr. John Mahama, explained that the youth manifesto is the party's pledge to the Ghanaian youth and the party's commitment to alleviating the plight of the youth. Well, we will look at what the NDC is looking at doing for the Ghanaian youth. Yesterday, at the launch of the manifesto, the NDC mentioned that this manifesto, as it's already been said, that is a youth manifesto, is a pledge to the youth. The NDC is looking at pledging themselves to the youth that they are going to do this for the youth of Ghana. The proposed education reforms by Mr. John Mahama and his NDC says that they will extend the free senior high school policy to private institutions. No more will the free senior high school policy be for just their government institutions. He also says that there will be no academic fees for level 100 students when he is voted into power. Mr. John Mahama and the NDC have also said that they will abolish the teacher licensure examination and make it a part of their final year program. So no longer will the teachers, after completing school, have to sit for their licensure examinations. And Mr. John Mahama has also said that he will launch a no-fee stress initiative to provide fee-paying support to eligible students through the Students' Loans Trust Fund. You understand that there's already a trust fund for students, and Mr. John Mahama is looking at doing more on that level. He also says that professional institutions of architects and engineers will be engaged to provide uniform designs and costing for the hostels to be built on campus, and it will be bed for all. With the issue of no beds in the universities, he is looking at engaging architects and engineers so that there'll be a uniform design and cost for all of these hostels. He also says that the NDC will ensure proper infrastructure and sustainable funding. He also says that he will partner with the private sector to construct hostels for students on campus at reasonable rates to students to address the issues of accommodation. He also says that the NDC will improve the implementation of the free SHS program. We know that free SHS is the flagship program of the Nana Akufo-Addo government. Mr. John Mahama and the NDC are saying that when they come into power, if voted into power come December 2020, they will look to improving the implementation of the policy. He and his party have already said that they have issues with the free SHS policy, the free SHS program that has been running, and will be looking at improving it. He will also decentralize the procurement of food and other supplies to headmasters and school bursars to improve food quality and boost economics in the districts where the schools are located. Yes. So yesterday, at yesterday's manifesto launch, one of the biggest issues that came up, will I call it an issue, but one of the biggest topics that came up was the issue of implementing free academic fees for level 100 students if the NDC is voted in power. Many have raised concerns, many from the other side have raised concerns that the NDC have said a lot about free SHS, the implementation of free SHS, saying that if they had 2 million Ghana cedis, they will not use it for that. So how come they are now saying that they will be paying fees for level 100 students, looking at the fact that university fees are higher than SHS fees? So we'll look at that extensively. We hope to engage members of the NDC to find out what is backing this idea, what is backing this promise in the manifesto for level 100 students. Away from John Mahama and the NDC, we'll look at Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, the Vice President and the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, NPP, has been touring the country, engaging with communities, clergy, and rallying support for his party's upcoming presidential campaign. After weeks of non-stop travel, meetings, and speeches, Dr. Bawumia has decided to take a brief pause from the campaign trail. His team, understanding the importance of this moment, agreed it is very necessary for him to focus and prepare for the next crucial phase. Thus, a press statement has been released on August 12, 2024. The press release was signed by the Director of Communications for the Bawumia campaign, Dennis Miracle Abuaje. However, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia will resume his campaign tour immediately after the manifesto launch. The manifesto is scheduled to be launched on Sunday, August 18, 2024 in Takoradi, the Western Regional Capital. There's more in this report. Has also pledged to train 1 million youth in digital skills. The Vice President and flag bearer of Mamadou Bawumia has pledged to train approximately 1 million Ghanaian youth in digital skills. Speaking at the 3rd National Youth Conference on the theme From Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development, in marking the International Youth Day on August 12, he stressed that the future is technology and it is important for the youth to be equipped to participate in the 4th Industrial Revolution.
Important growth poles that we as a government are going to focus on. One of the areas that I am going to be very, very keen on is training 1 million youth in digital skills. 1 million youth in digital skills, so that the youth, because without the skills, the youth cannot have the opportunity to participate fully in the 4th Industrial Revolution. There are many job opportunities, both inside and outside Ghana, if you have the skills. And training the youth in digital skills, the youth don't necessarily have to have a university degree or go into a polytechnic. As long as they can read and write, we can train them to be digitally literate and they can work. And once you have digital, important growth poles that we as a government are going to focus on. One of the areas that I am going to be very, very keen on is training 1 million youth in digital skills. 1 million youth in digital skills, so that the youth, because without the skills, the youth cannot have the opportunity to participate fully in the fourth industrial revolution. There are many job opportunities, both inside and outside Ghana, if you have the skills. And training the youth in digital skills, the youth don't necessarily have to have a university degree or go into a polytechnic. As long as they can read and write, we can train them to be digitally literate and they can work. And once you have digital
Still on the International Youth Day celebrations, as the world continues to commemorate International Youth Day, a day dedicated to celebrating and acknowledging the role of young people in driving global change, we take a closer look at youth representation and leadership. Young people are the future leaders, innovators, and change makers of our world. Their voices, ideas, and perspectives are crucial in shaping policies and addressing global challenges. However, despite their potential, youth representation in national leadership positions remains limited. In some instances, the capacities and skills of young persons are even questioned.
Yanka say ye go hum mono no na mubuo na muti aye eze ngube na mubuo no nyamo na yesi ye go hum o yesi ye kwa go hum abrewa no eye opini ya wanyina nyini ya bibi woni tiri ye kwa go hum no mo so mpeni wo kuro mu nyina na mo de won dia policy nti na president mo mpeni fo ni o man mu a de bia meka asamba na yesi ye kwa kampa ye ya yesi ye kwa go hum abrewa Yanka say ye go hum mono no na mubuo na muti aye eze ngube na mubuo no nyamo na yesi ye go hum o yesi ye kwa go hum abrewa no eye opini ya wanyina nyini ya bibi woni tiri ye kwa go hum no mo so mpeni wo kuro mu nyina na mo de won dia policy nti now president.
Well, the United Nations had a survey and it showed that just 2.6% of parliamentarians are under 30 years old, and less than 1% of them are women. We leave this to you to ponder over. Let's go to CTAG. Ministry of Health on Friday, 9th August, released financial clearance for rotational nurses and midwives. This is the 2023 batch of rotational nurses and midwives, representing over 11,000 nurses and midwives who were calling for the swift payment of their unpaid allowances. Let's go for a break. We'll be back.
advertise your brand or business on ABC News GH Television. Call us on 030-278-8645 or 050-993-0360 to secure your slot. You can advertise your brand or business on ABC News GH Television. Call us on 030-278-8645 or 050-993.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's cross over to Parliament, where the Public Accounts Committee is sitting.
So, as for this illegal mining thing, I'm not sure the answer you have given here is anything to go by. You can't. If number one couldn't finish it, which number are you?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I have no number, but I can assure you that what I was talking about is with regards to forest reserves, and it is true for the forest reserves. I cannot speak for areas outside forest reserves.
The reserve inside is where the thing is taking place. So. Most of the illegal mining are happening in the forest reserve, inside. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to paragraph 1365, Honorable Teddy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, paragraph 1370 has got to do with long outstanding uncredited bankers draft. 1365. Which page? Page 2. Page 1365. Okay, that is the management issues. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Per the recommendation of the Auditor General, management was asked to ensure that adequate security systems and are well installed at various points of the zoo. I want to ask if that has been done.
Honorable Chair, we are in the process of awarding the contract for them to start with the CCTV cameras over there. Thank you, sir.
Is this known to the auditors?
Not yet, but maybe we are. Okay, we give them that. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Because this is a recommendation, so you must definitely comply with the auditors. Auditors, can you confirm, please? That they are about to award the
contract. Honorable Chair, yeah, we are aware that they've started the process to secure those places. Thank you.
So the management of the zoo is not aware that there is a need for provision of security infrastructure at the zoo until the auditors have to flag this issue and draw your attention before we begin the process. Is that the case?
Chairman, we have a comprehensive plan in place for improvement in the Accra and
yes or no,
is that the case? Yes. No.
Zoo. So, so a CCTV camera has been provided in Accra, and we were proceeding to do that for Kumasi.
How long has the zoo been in place, in existence?
Initially, cameras were in place.
No, answer my question. How long has the zoo been in existence?
It's beyond since the 60s.
And you are now having a systematic plan. Or which word did you use?
Yes.
Huh?
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive plan. And then you started provisioning the
We've done for Accra.
Accra, now moving to Kumasi.
Yes.
Hey. Order, Honorable Minister. I saw your hand up.
Chairman, I was only trying to emphasize the point you made. We acknowledge that challenge. That is why there is that comprehensive program for us to make sure that all the zoos are well catered for in terms of security. So
then speed up with the process.
That. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
In fact, those cameras are needed.
Yes, very
when
important.
People even visit the zoo and going around, at least it's safer if somebody is somewhere watching what is happening, so that anything happen to visitors can easily be attended to.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes.
Honorable Bauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the issue has to do with risk at which visitors to the zoo are exposed to. Because the report even mentions inadequate tour guards. And for that matter, without the tour guards, it's even risky for visitors to visit the zoo should in case something, any animal attacks any visitor. And so I would like to find out from the management of the zoo, how far have they coped up with the recommendation that they should beef up, they should increase the number of tour guards, which is also a security concern that was raised by the auditors.
Mr. Chairman, that forms part of the whole comprehensive program that we have, and some are being trained. You need to train these tour guards also, in addition to the attendance at the zoo. So that is also part of the whole process.
Honorable Jifar.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to know from the minister or the agency head whether they've taken into consideration 1367, which says the above condition posed a risk of injury and death to staff and visitors who visit the zoo. I hear the comprehensive, but can you give me a specific thing that you have done to save, as part of the comprehensive, to save the lives of the staff and visitors? And please, whilst you're on it, if you can also let me know whether the Kumasi Zoo is in operation, if it's operational, and people can still go there.
Yes, Chair, the Kumasi Zoo is operational. And then the other question. So,
answer the other question.
Recently, we have done reinforcement on all the cages in the Accra and Kumasi zoos. We've done reinforcement and all the cages. All the cages have reinforced. So you have just one fencing. In Accra, especially the Lion Zoo, we have 3 rounds of fencing around the zoos of the cages of the lions.
But was it 3 before the person died?
No.
It was how many?
It was 2.
It was 1?
No, it was 2.
2?
Yes.
So now the person died, you made it 3. Yes, ranking.
When you say that you are in the process of getting CCTV cameras, I'm talking about timelines, because Ghana is in the process of getting atomic energy, and it's been since Kwame Nkrumah's time. So how many months that are we talking about?
Chair, by the end of the year, we'll get it done.
End of the year. Auditors, please take note of this.
Yes. And the clerk should also note it. By the end of the year, all the implementation of the comprehensive plan will have been come to an end, and all the necessary security protections at our zoos will have been achieved. Thank you. There is another issue on loan outstanding credit, uncredited bankers drafts. There are a number of them, which were drafts issued by various departments or issued to various agencies or branches of the Forestry Commission. Now, these bank drafts
Thank you for staying with us. That was the Public Accounts Committee. They're having a conversation with the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, getting to know what they've been doing and holding them to account. Let's move on to education. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana strike, which commenced on June 14, 2024, has entered the 9th week amidst calls by the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana for all 46 colleges of education to be closed down. The Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, TTAG, in a statement to the National Conference of Principals and Colleges of Education Ghana, demanded the closure of all 46 public colleges of education across the country by Monday, August 12. The group also wants the academic calendar to be revised, insisting that 54 days of no academic work has rendered the current semester useless. However, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, has indicated its unwillingness to close down colleges of education as they are banking hopes on CTAG to call off its strike. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has been on strike since June 14 in demand for the government to address concerns related to their conditions of service. Joining us on phone is Isaiah Dukurung, who is a council member of CTAG, to have further conversation on this. Good afternoon, Isaiah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Isaiah, the Teacher Trainee Association of Ghana has asked for the closure of schools today. What is your response to this?
Excuse me, the line is not clear. I'm even put my phone on loudspeaker, but I can't hear you clear.
Oh, apologies, Isaiah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, the teacher trainees have asked that schools be closed down because 54 days of no school has rendered the semester useless. What do you say about this?
Oh, I can only hear something that you should close down schools.
Hello, Isaiah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clear now.
You can hear me clearly now. Okay. So, Isaiah, the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana has asked for schools to be closed. What is your response to this?
Yeah, good afternoon, my dear sister, and also to your cherished listeners in the whole Ghana. In fact, I am very, very pathetic to hear this last week when they came out with that communique. In fact, what they are saying, I think they are right. They know what is actually happening. And that is why they are trying to also defend themselves. Because what is happening now is nothing is going on. Nothing is going on. Then the minister is not helping to push matters up. And then students are there, and they are feeding them, doing everything, but excluding teaching. Non-teaching staff, they are there actually with the students. So if they are there wasting their time, they don't have anything to do, and then it's good that they go home and help their parents. If they go home and help their parents and they close down the school, I think that one will help them. And then that one too will also lead to the whole Ghanaians to know the truth, what the minister is doing. So, but I will also take this opportunity to call on all Ghanaians and parents in particular. They should all come together and then talk to the minister. What he is doing is not the best.
Isaiah, what is the minister doing?
What?
You said that for all parents and everybody to know what the minister is doing. What is the minister doing that you want everybody to know?
It is the minister that is actually always shifting the goalpost. He is resisting to do what CTAC is demanding for. Because Jesus said that they can do it, they don't have power to do it. National Labour Commission, they don't pay wages, they don't have power to do anything. It is the minister. And it is the minister who asked the controller not to pay us our salaries. And that one has even gone on to escalate the matter.
Information reaching us.
All powers lie on the minister. So it is not everybody. It is the minister who is sitting on the matter. If the minister says they should pay us today, my good sister, they will pay us. And this afternoon, we will go back to the classroom.
Okay. Isaiah, however, information reaching us is that some allowances like vehicle maintenance allowance have been disbursed to CTAG. If you have received these allowances, why then are you not back to the classroom?
And that is, my dear sister, that is what I'm saying. The employer, particularly the minister, is not fair to CTAG members. And I'm telling you that if this particular unfairness continues, the education sector will collapse, particularly the teacher training college. I'm telling you, as I'm standing now, I'm in the farm, speaking to you now, I'm telling you, those monies that they say that they have paid to us, I have not received mine. That all colleges in the northern sector, none of the teachers has received it. I'm telling you the fact. And that money too, let me tell you, it is not any allowance that they say they are paying. My sister, if actually you owe me in 3 tranches of money, you owe me in 3 tranches, then the smaller one, that 1,000 Ghana, can you say that because of 1,000 Ghana, I should be on site? How much is 1,000 Ghana? If I sell my yam today, I can get more than 1,000 Ghana. So why should I say because of 1,000 Ghana, these students shouldn't get teaching? They shouldn't be graduated. So what the minister is doing, I'm telling you, we are on strike because we want them to implement the arbitral award, the award that the National Labour Commission has awarded. We want them to implement it, and that one will give it away. And now they said that we have reached an agreement. And I'm telling you, my sister, no agreement has reached yet. What they are doing, they're saying that they are migrating. They are doing what we call matching in mathematics. I'm a mathematics teacher. They are doing matching, mapping that they are doing. Because if somebody is having PhD and the person is in the training college and the person cannot be called lecturer or senior lecturer, the person will still be called tutor or senior tutor. Where even in the constitution and the well of work, we don't even have a tutor.
Isaiah, thank you.
But the audit report said that they have to reconcile all these things. If somebody is having MPhil, the person will be given the rank of what? Assistant lecturer. And the additional award said that GTEC through the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Education through GTEC, they should extend that same services to those who are at the college, because we are also producing what? Teachers, we are also producing degree students. If they go into the system now, they are going to be principals.
Okay. Isaiah, we would like to continue this conversation, but I see that it has moved from allowances to designations. We will surely come back to you and then continue this conversation. Thank you for speaking to us here.
Okay.
So that was Isaiah Dokurong. He is a council member for CTAG. Away from education and into health, the Ministry of Health on Friday, 9th August, released financial clearance for rotational nurses and midwives. This is the 2023 batch of rotational nurses and midwives, representing over 11,000 nurses and midwives who were calling for the swift payment of their unpaid allowances. We will be speaking to Awudu Razak Isifu. He is the national PRO of the rotational nurses and midwives to give us updates on the latest developments. Good afternoon, Awudu Razak. Razak, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Razak.
Good afternoon, madam.
Razak, rotational nurses, we have been informed that the Ministry of Health has released the clearance made by the Ministry of Finance. How true is this?
Oh, that's very true. I send greetings to all your viewers and listeners. Yes, very true. The financial clearance was being released on last Friday. But when it came, there were some discrepancies. Some schools and then some individuals' names were not on the list. So afterwards, leadership made the move and then alerted the leadership of the ministry, and then the corrections have been done. So yesterday we had another released, which they have updated the inclusion of the members who were omitted. So currently we have sent it to the members to go through and if there are challenges so that they can alert the leadership.
Okay, Razak, thank you for that. We will come back to you to find out how far you have gone with arranging or taking care of these challenges. Thank you for speaking with us.
All right, but before then, there is one challenge that has not been addressed. I think those that did the post-NAC, we have some colleagues among us who did post-NAC. With them, they did the certificate course for 2 years, and afterwards progressed to do the diploma for 2 years. So with them, none of them have appeared on the list. So leadership has also taken that one to alert the ministry. So we haven't gotten any response yet, but we are hoping that those people, since they also went through the same struggles that we also went through, we are pleading that their name should be included. If you look at it, when they were doing their diploma course, they were not taking the student allowance as we did. But then it was clear that when they were doing their 2-year certificate program, they took allowance, and that is why they didn't take. But with the service allowance, their names are not included, and then we don't know why it is so. So that is one of the challenges that it is on board now.
Okay. Thank you for speaking with us, Razak.
You are welcome.
So Razak Awudu Isifu is the PRO for the Rotational Nurses Association. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into the world of business. Now in business, the Bank of Ghana has avowed that the government's Gold for Oil program is on track. The Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Lupuku-Afari, provided an update on the Gold for Oil program when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament yesterday. He said that the central bank's financial contribution to the Gold for Oil program is capped, with no additional funds being added to the program. This means that the funds within the cap is what is being used to continue financing the program.
Yes, the Gold for Oil program is on track, and the reason why the risk for the separate account is mitigated somehow is that the central bank's participation in terms of financial contribution to the Gold for Oil is capped, and nothing more is being added to that. So it is the receivables that are coming from within that cap amount that's being used to continue to finance the Gold for Oil program. So yes, it's on track. This is part of our risk management program to ensure that the bank is not overexposed to this special project. And this was also agreed as part of the IMF program. So it's being monitored consistently to ensure that not a single cedi is added to the amount that was capped. And so that's between us and the IMF. we both agree that BOG should not continue to be overexposed to in terms of the gold for oil project.
The concerned citizens of the Commander traditional area have shifted their protest against the lease of the Commander sugar factory to an Indian firm from Commander to Accra. Originally set for Tuesday, August 13, 2024, the demonstration will now occur on a date yet to be announced in the capital city. The group is demanding the reversal of the lease agreement, which they argue was made without adequate procedural adherence and stakeholder consultation. Well, let's get into the world of sports. Just before we go into sports, the managing director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Samuel Dubek Mansubru Mahama, during the Public Accounts Committee sitting yesterday, revealed that expired meters are contributing to unusual electricity bills in homes. Speaking on the rise of electricity bills, he emphasized that meters do expire and urged customers to be mindful of their usage, noting that even an unplugged socket can still consume power if left on. Some Ghanaians share with us their thoughts on this.
I don't know whether meters expire. I don't know where I'm staying. Actually, I'm staying in a hiring apartment. So I don't have anything doing with bills and light bills and others. It's the landlord who deal with them directly. So I don't have any connection with them or issues with light bill issues.
I don't realize meter expire. But yes, I could light now. But 2 to 3 days. The light one I
No. I've never heard of that before. It's my first time hearing this. What I do know is that it's kind of damage, but for it to expire, I don't know. This is the first time that I'm hearing something like that.
I don't know whether light meter do expire.
As for the meter expiring, it's having an expiring date. I don't think it's a very good idea because looking at the current economy issues, people also having troubles in able to earn a daily income. Someone buying its meter and it's having an expiring date might face certain issues because considering maybe the person is owing a shop, which actually has to do with food that can expire at any point in time.
I don't really know about meter expiring. I only know about buying the prepaid and putting it into the meter. Yeah, and that one it expires for some days. But knowing about meter expiring, I have no idea about that.
Going back to the lease of the Commander Sugar Factory to an Indian firm, we have the convener for the concerned citizens of the Commander traditional area, Samuel Awuja, on the line to speak with us. Good afternoon, Samuel.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Thank you for joining us here on ABC News Ghana.
Thank you.
Samuel, can you explain to us in more detail why concerned citizens of the Commander traditional area believe that the lease agreement with the Indian firm was not done with proper procedural adherence and stakeholder consultation?
Yes, my sister. I think Commander Sugar Factory is not a new thing, and it's always been in the news. For some reasons, it's been in the news always for the bad reasons. The factory was built in 2016, so we were hopeful that since the previous administration built the factory, a new one coming in will just continue with the operationalization of the factory. But that has not been the case. For the past 8 years, from 2016 till date, the factory has still not been operational. And we've always tried to raise some of these issues to the government so that it pays attention to operationalize the factory. But that has gone unnoticed. the last time we tried demonstration was in 2021, yes, if I remember correctly, yes, June 2021. That was when the government then came in that there was going to be a strategic investor who would then take over the factory. And as a result, the then Minister Alan Kamante went to Parliament and told them that the strategic investor was stuck somewhere because of the COVID restrictions. But even after the restrictions were open, of course, there was no strategic investor. He never reported. And so some years down the line, we are back to where we started from. We were here in 2022. The government engaged the farmers to expand the cultivation of real sugar cane. So some even went to the extent of getting loan facilities from some of the banks to expand their farms and then cultivate more sugar cane with the hope that the factory will be fully operational and then the government will buy the sugar cane from these farmers to feed the factory. 2 years down the line, we were here when the minister came to Commander without even consulting the chiefs and the people and all the stakeholders and announced to the whole world that the factory is already in operation and they have resorted to importing brown sugar from India and Brazil to Ghana and refining it to white sugar. We thought we'd been shortchanged because this is not what the government told us. This is not the arrangement, the agreement that we had with the government. Because if you know the sugar production process, it starts from sugar cane, you crush it, you turn it into molasses, you get the juice, then it becomes brown sugar. Then from the brown sugar, you refine it to get white sugar. So if the government is now importing brown sugar to the country and then refining it, that process takes just about 5% of the whole production chain. It means that you are now outsourcing the job which could have been done by our farmers to Indian farmers, because the investor who is taking over the factory is an Indian. So he would prefer to create jobs for his people in India. And here is the case. Indian farmers will cultivate their sugarcane, sell it to their Indian factories, crush it, refine it into brown sugar. Then we will go to India and import this brown sugar to Ghana, to Commander, and refine it to white sugar. Then what work are we doing? How many people can this factory even employ? Because the factory is built to employ between 5,000 to 7,000 people when in full operation. So if you are going to operate well under 5%, it means that you cannot even employ more than 20 people. A factory that is supposed to employ 5,000 people is now employing only well under 20. Then how is that job creation? How does that even feed into your one district, one factory? A factory that has already been built, yours is to operationalize it. So as concerned citizens, we deem it wise to drum home some of these concerns for the government to pay attention to Commander Sugar Factory. We initially planned to have the demonstration here in Commander today, but after further consultations and then stakeholder engagement, we've relocated it from Commander to Accra to amplify our voices, escalate the demand, and then ensure that our concerns receive attention at the highest government level. And my sister, you and I know that in Ghana, the government only understands 2 languages, either strike or demonstration, depending on where you are coming from. And if you want anything to be done and done properly, it has to come from Accra. So we have even changed the way we are going to do the demonstration. As it stands, the demonstration will be held in Accra. Our petition will not be sent to the Ministry of Trade. Our petition will be sent to the President. And we are going to do what we call a sit-in demonstration. We are coming with our camp tent and everything. We are going to camp in front of the Jubilee House so the President hears our concerns and address them accordingly until these concerns are backed with good assurances and actions. We are not going to disperse from this. And we are encouraging every well-meaning Ghanaian to join us on the day to demonstrate for the operationalization of Commander Sugar Factory. So as youth, this is the reason why we are demonstrating.
Samuel, what will be your next line of action if after your planned demonstration does not receive the solution you are looking for?
Thank you, Majuka. Like I indicated earlier on, this is going to be a demonstration unlike we've ever seen before in Ghana. We normally do our demonstrations, we set a timeline, we start and then we stop. Our demonstration is only going to have a starting time and there won't be any ending point. The ending time or the ending day will depend on what the government gives us. If our demands are being met, then we will call off the demonstration because we are fully prepared and we are coming and we are bringing all well-meaning Ghanaians to the Jubilee House. And you see, when we send our petitions, it will be up to the president to decide when we disperse from there. Because we will camp there, so the president comes in and tell the people, the good people of Commander and all Ghanaians that Commander Sugar Factory will be operational. The farmers are going to be engaged. The government is going to buy the sugarcane to feed the factory. And it's not just going to be lip service. These words must be backed by action. Without action, nobody, and I'm telling you, nobody is going to disperse from the front of the Jubilee House. We are going to come there so the president listens to us. And it's going to be a national affair. And we are fortunate enough to have over 43 pressure groups and then CEOs joining us in this quest. So, I just like you said, our next line of action will depend on what we get from the presidency when we go there. Because the presidency will determine when we will stop this demonstration. And it's going to be continuous. So we hear from the president, my sister.
Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you, my sister.
That was Samuel Awuja, the convener for Concerned Commander Citizens. Now, away from business into the world of sports, the Ghana Football Association's president, Keto Kweku, has urged the Black Princesses to make a significant impact at the upcoming FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia. Speaking at a farewell dinner for the team, Akweku emphasized the importance of building on their qualification achievements and making the most of their participation in the tournament. He further charged the team to focus on progress, not just participation. The FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup kicks off in Colombia from August 31 to September 22, 2024. Now let's look at the world of international stories. Suffered a loss of 500 billion naira due to the widespread protests against the cost of living crisis and bad governance. The Minister of Trade, Doris Uzoka Anite, announced this figure in a press briefing, citing disruptions to supply chains, slowed business transactions, and temporary closure of businesses as contributing factors. The economic damage is substantial and recovery will take time. Economists have warned that the longer the protest persists, the greater the economic harm will be. The protests have already resulted in the loss of lives and extensive property damage, exacerbating the country's economic woes. In America, after a while, former U.S. President Donald Trump has returned to X, and his highly anticipated interview with billionaire Elon Musk occurred on Monday, August 12, 2024. Donald Trump's Twitter account was permanently suspended on January 8, 2021 due to the risk of further incitement of violence. Twitter cited the storming of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021 as a direct consequence of Trump's online rhetoric. Trump recounted his assassination attempts in vivid detail. He also reiterated his promise to deport a large number of illegal immigrants, calling it the largest deportation in U.S. history. Trump criticized President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential race, labeling it as a coup. Now, into the world of entertainment. According to gospel musician Kirk Franklin, Western Christianity has weaponized marriage against single people. He argues that marriage is often presented as a solution to sin, implying that single individuals are incomplete or flawed. This narrative perpetuates a harmful and judgmental attitude towards singles, reducing their worth and purpose to their relationship status. Franklin contends that single individuals can still be used by God and have a meaningful life. Marriage is not the sole determinant of spiritual fulfillment or identity. Hence, the focus should be on living a life of truth and love, rather than weaponizing the Bible or marriage to hurt or condemn others. This is where we end the news, but before we go, a recap of our top stories. NDC launches Youth Manifesto, pledges youngest cabinet ever. To improve youth development, Dr. Baumia has pledged to train 1 million youth in digital skills. CTAC strike enters 9th week as trainees call for closure of schools. Gold for oil program still on track, Bank of Ghana says. And into international news, Nigeria's economy suffers a 500 billion naira loss due to protests. Thank you for joining us here on the Midday News in ABC News GH. For more news, visit us on www.abcnewsgh. Follow us and interact with us on our socials at ABC News GH. I am Abuna Mante. Have a good afternoon.